Today, we're partnering with Snowboard Addiction, the leader in online snowboard training, to show you how to turn with proper form on a snowboard and a leaf. We'll be showing side-by-side footage of shredding on the mountain and the beach with smooth, buttery turns. Now let's get started.
Welcome to Snowboard Addiction. I'm Duncan Mainland, and today we're going to break down some of the movements involved in making turns. Most beginners learn to turn using their head, shoulders, and maybe their hips. We're going to start right from the top, working from our head, which is an often neglected part of riding. A lot of people get stuck looking straight down at the ground when they're doing turns, or even just staring straight down the hill. When doing your turns, think about keeping your head up, looking where you're going. Not just a few feet in front of you, but look all the way ahead to your next turn. It'll give you lots of time to plan your turn and know where you're going next. That way, nothing's going to pop up at you. You're not going to get any surprises. Once you get to your turn, even before your board starts moving, try turning your head to initiate that turn. Already start looking for your next turn before your first one started. By doing this, you're going to start projecting yourself across the hill. Instead of just looking straight down, trying to deal with speed, you can send some of that energy across the hill simply by keeping your head up and looking that direction. Moving down the body, we're going to focus on our shoulders now. Our shoulders work really closely with our snowboard. They follow each other's path the whole way down the mountain. If I want to make a turn, I can simply turn my shoulders and head, and my snowboard will want to follow along. Your body's built so that it's nice and aligned, just like this. This is why when you walk down the street, you walk this way and not all twisted up. We want to snowboard the way our body works the best. If I want to make a turn, I can simply turn my shoulders to face the direction I want my snowboard to go, and then using my core muscles to bring my snowboard around underneath me, I finish that turn still nice and aligned. Your shoulders should move in a rotating movement, like this. While we're turning our shoulders, we're really building momentum, rotational momentum. The faster and bigger you do this movement, the more quickly your turns are going to come around. Working our way down our body, we come to our hips. Once again, we're not going to forget about what we've just done. We're still going to keep our head and our shoulders involved. We're just going to focus a little bit lower now. So while I'm turning my head and my shoulders, my hips are turning a little bit naturally anyway. A great way to focus on your hips is just put your hands on your hips when you're doing a few turns. As you rotate your head and shoulders, you're going to feel your hips turning around with them. This is exactly the movement you want. You don't want your hips to move forward and backwards, just rotating in one spot. Working our way down the body a little bit more, we come to our knees. When you start using your knees to make turns, you can really advance your riding. By moving these movements further down your body, you can get on your edge much earlier, which will make it easier to control your speed and direction, which is really handy when you're on steeper slopes. When you're using just your head, all these movements eventually work their way down through your knees, feet, and into your snowboard, but it takes a lot longer to go head, shoulders, hips, knees, feet, board. If we can focus a little bit lower, we can get things happening a lot quicker in our turns. I find the easiest way to get my knees moving is to think about moving my feet in my bindings. If you've ever had your bindings loose, you know they wiggle back and forth a little bit. Think about doing this movement while you're doing your turns. If I'm turning onto my heel side, I'm going to move my feet like this. If I'm trying to turn onto my toe side, I'm going to move my feet this way. Obviously, my feet aren't going to move when they're strapped in, but by thinking about twisting my feet, I can get my knees moving in the direction I need. And now moving to our feet. These are attached to our snowboard, so they're going to make a huge impact on your board right away. Think about pedaling your feet as you're making turns, not just dumping them both over at one time. If you're starting a toe side turn, try pushing your front toes down first, followed by your back toes. Think of it this way, you're using your front foot to initiate the turn and back foot to finish the turn. Same thing doing a heel side turn. Press your front heel first, followed by your back heel. Once you're comfortable with all these movements, play with them individually trying to make turns, and then put them all together to make a very advanced, smooth turn. While you're playing with these, try some 360s on the snow. Using these movements together make 360s on the snow much easier. Make sure you're keeping your head up, looking over your shoulder, rotating your shoulders and hips in the direction you want to go, twisting your feet to move your knees, and pedaling to keep that edge out of the snow. By focusing on these individual movements and body parts, it'll give you a much broader understanding of how your body works to make a turn, and it'll be easier for you to change things in order to adapt to different terrain and conditions. I'm Duncan Mainland, this is Snowboard Addiction, and our goal is to improve your riding.
I hope you guys have been learning from our snowboard tutorials. If you want to see more of them, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Plus, visit our website, snowboardaddiction.com. We have a lot more detailed full-length tutorials available there.